Hello everybody, my name is Bill. Today we're going to be talking about sidestepping. You know, this thing. Something I hear pretty much every day, either on Twitter or in streams or just from anyone that I coach or play with on a regular basis, or just anyone really. I hear that sidestepping seems useless in this game. It feels useless. Why even sidestep? And that upsets me because this is a very technical game with a lot of really deep mechanics, and this is like the deepest one. You know? So today I want to teach you guys how to master sidestep, and I'm going to do it with a formula using who, what, when, where, why. Who is the best sidestepper and who is the worst? I'm not going to tiptoe around the information. This is the sidestep tier list. Go ahead and take it in. Pause it if you want. Find your characters. Mine is Paul. I have an average sidestep. Now that you've seen the sidestep chart, you know that Paul has an average sidestep. So everything that I'm going to be showing you is from the perspective of someone with an average sidestep, which I feel like is a good medium so that you can lab yourself. The downsides of playing a character with a bad sidestep is really going to be determined by the strengths of that character. You know what I mean? But even if you have a below average sidestep, a lot of this stuff still applies. This is pretty important to lab on both sides, with your opponent doing it and you doing it, so that you not only know how and when to do it, but you also know how and when your opponent might want to do it and recognize those situations so we can, you know, try to counter them best we can. Of course, every character has a side that they're weakest to. Kazuya's is stepping to your left, and Paul is stepping to your right. It's pretty straightforward for the most part for most characters. So what is a sidestep? A sidestep is when you go, let's just put it like this. You go to your left or your right, or you could say you go away from the camera or towards the camera. When you roll, you're also choosing a side to go. You're either going towards the camera or away from the camera. Assuming you already know this, you might not know that there's many ways you can sidestep. You can sidestep and you can sidewalk by double tapping. You could sidestep by pressing a single button, a single direction, or you can sidestep by using a quarter circle motion. This works just as well. And in fact, if you double tap over and over again, you're kind of going to get this weird, ugly sidestep. But if you do quarter circles, look how clean this is. This takes a while to practice, but this has done a lot for me, especially with repositioning because it's so damn fast. You might also notice that when you do this kind of sidestep cancel with quarter circles, it kind of makes your character stagger a little bit, like kind of move weirdly. And what this does is you can actually disguise your movement and your pressure at the same time. This helps you approach. Like for example, when a Mishima might wave dash at you, I'm sure everybody's had a Mishima go over and over again in their face. You know, I'm not a Mishima player. Movement can help disguise what you're doing, but you get the idea. In fact, a lot of Korean players are actually known for doing this jiggle, and this is scary. You know what I mean? You don't know what they're gonna do. It's harder to judge in animation when the character's already moving, is the basic fundamental point of what I'm trying to say. Another thing you might not know about sidestepping is that you have option selects everywhere that you could be doing. And by option select, I mean something like sidestep duck. You could be doing sidestep jab. Be doing sidestep while rising 4. In fact, there's another really interesting thing you can do where you can do a sidestep from pressing right, down, kind of in a reversed quarter circle. And this actually has a down forward input in it, and you will low parry things while doing this. Low parries literally will just come out of this. Lab it. Find it out for yourself. And now we get to when. When do we sidestep? This is probably the most obvious thing to me, but to someone else it might not be obvious, so we're going to figure it out right now. A good time to sidestep is when you have enough frames to put your opponent kind of in a movement mix, we'll call it. If I've already figured out that the Kazuya likes to press 1-1 after I do a down forward 1, which is not a bad option for him to do. Because I know 1-1 is so linear, and I know what he's going to do, I might just sidestep after my next down forward 1. See? But why were we able to do that? Well, it's mainly because of frame advantage. As you can see, when he blocks the down forward 1, I'm -2. Many people say you can sidestep at -5, but I personally think that's kind of rolling the dice. I would say -4 is probably the best time where you can still step. So -4 or better, so that -4, 3, 2, 1, or 0, and anything plus, you can step. But when you're plus, I don't think stepping is actually very good, because the only thing you're actually going to step is a dick punch, since most opponents at high level are going to recognize when they're extremely minus and not press. As you can see, if I use a down forward 2 and it gets blocked, it's -8. Let's see what happens if I try to step at -8. Doesn't work. So -4 or better, I would say that's a good time to step. Adding to this a little more, if your character has lows that are advantage on hit, and that means -4 or better, you can step after they've landed. Paul's quarter circle forward 3, this move, is a low and it's pretty bad on block, it's -14, but on hit it's -0. So what that means is I can do this and still step if it lands, because I'm -4 or better. It'll work every time. It'll work every time. Wow, amazing. Another good time to check is when you're looking for information. I'm sure you've seen a lot of Dragunov mirrors in Tekken 8 so far. What they like to do is down forward 1 and then sidestep. It doesn't matter if it's blocked or not. The reason for this is because down forward 1 is usually one of the safest and fastest mids on each character, and one of the best ways to get your turn back typically would be jabbing, unless they step. So down forward 1 can be a mix all in itself depending on your character. So now we've understood the who, what, and when of stepping. Now where is the best place to step? I would say right about here is the most important place to sidestep, and the next most important place to sidestep is right about here, just a little further away from the wall. Allow me to explain my reasoning. When you're at about this range from the wall, so the wall is about this far back, see? Come here, Kazuya. It's very important to keep them aligned with this wall so that you keep your advantage in case you get something big that puts them there. And since we're at the wall, how they get up determines a lot as well. Let's say they get up this way and you step this way. Oh no, now we're no longer at the wall. The same thing happens in reverse. So what can we do to counter this? Surely we can't react to a roll. Well, I have good news for you. You can actually do this. Did you catch what I did there? All I did was I backstepped and then I sidestepped. This could be a helpful exercise. As a final note as to why you might want to be trying out these strategies and option selects, I'm going to go ahead and just leave you with this. And I hope everyone has a great day. Oh, and subscribe or I'm going to do this to you.